Each week, don't miss CSI's Mark Helgenberger. It's all new all this week. Now your local news.
Coming up on your news Channel 3 at 11, a 500-pound bomb falls on the wrong house in Iraq. We'll tell you what the Pentagon has to say. Plus, a candlelight vigil for a local teen murdered earlier this week. We'll take you to the emotional service.
And clear skies in your exclusive 10-day triple Doppler forecast. News Channel 3 at 11 starts in just 30 seconds.
Sunday at Haynes, the last chance to get the most powerful offer ever made in furniture. No money down and no interest for the next 3 years. For 6 hours Sunday, get all new furniture and mattresses on sale at up to 50% off any other store. And on this day, you need no down payment. You pay no interest for 3 years. And make sure you get everything Sunday because your first payment won't be due until January 2006. Last chance at the best offer in our history. 6 hours Sunday at Haynes.
Right now on your news Channel 3, another survivor pulled from the tsunami-ravaged region. And more visions of hope as children in Thailand find time to celebrate. Good evening and thanks so much for joining us this Saturday night. I'm Karen May. We begin tonight with an update to a story we first brought you at 6 in our military watch. The Pentagon admits an F-16 dropped a 500-pound bomb on the wrong target. The airstrike destroyed a home early this morning near the Iraqi city of Mosul. U.S. officials say the explosion killed 5 people, but the man whose home was hit says 14 people died, including 7 children. A military statement says the incident happened during a hunt for militants. Of course, we'll have much more information on your news Channel 3 this morning, beginning at 6 a.m. Tonight, President Bush says if the $350 million already pledged to help tsunami victims isn't enough, the U.S. will contribute more. The death toll continues to rise 2 weeks after the tsunami, but many survivors are beginning to see signs of healing. Your News Channel 3's Kelly Kobiea has the day's developments.
His is the kind of story that gives hope to the thousands still waiting to find missing family. A 60-year-old man found alive in the rubble of a collapsed seaside shop in Sri Lanka nearly 2 weeks after the killer waves hit.
He didn't drink for 14 days. That means he should be very weak.
But most stories aren't ending this way. Across the disaster zone, volunteers are finding only bodies in the debris. The number of dead continues to inch up and is now beyond 150,000. More aid is reaching the living. U.S. Navy and Marine helicopters continue to do the bulk of the work. 65 tons of supplies go out every day, up from 35 tons a week ago.
Every day, the helicopter pilots and the air crews are finding the locations quicker and quicker, and they're flying better and better.
Aid workers are starting to shift their focus to the long term. Relief agencies are drawing plans to feed 2 million tsunami survivors for 6 months. And that means working around broken bridges and washed out roads, entire infrastructures that will take months to rebuild. Survivors can't afford to wait for help. Tourist resorts in Thailand are trying to lure back visitors scared away by the disaster. And in remote villages wiped out by the waves,
everything broken for house and catamaran, everything broken.
Fishermen mend nets and gather courage to head back out to the same sea that 2 weeks ago swallowed their livelihoods, along with tens of thousands of lives. Kelly Kobiea, News Channel 3.
Today is National Children's Day in Thailand, and parents in the tsunami-ravaged resort of Phuket were determined to give the kids there a day to remember. Stars from children's television shows entertained about 500 youngsters affected by the tsunami. Usually schools host the games and entertainment, but with many schools still closed, today's events took place at a refugee camp. Right now, Your News Channel 3 is proud to announce that our Your 3 Cares campaign has raised more than $101,000 in donations and pledges for tsunami victims. Volunteers took your pledges Thursday and Friday in our studio phone bank. Many of you also made cash donations at Heaven and Earth stores throughout Hampton Roads. Again, preliminary totals show you have donated and pledged more than $101,000. If you promise to send a check, we hope you'll follow through to help so many people in need. And once again, we thank you for your support.
Would you like to buy some Girl Scout cookies?
I think it will.
Tonight, Beach Girl Scouts are hitting local neighborhoods for their 2005 cookie sales. This troop hopes to donate some of its profits to the tsunami relief effort. Friends and loved ones of a young murder victim honored her memory tonight. They paid their respects to 16-year-old Brittany Binger. Your News Channel 3 Stacey Wiggins was there. She joins us now live with more details. Good evening, Stacey.
Hi, Karen. It really was an emotional night. Dozens gathered to say goodbye to this girl, Brittany Binger. Friends can't believe she's gone, and many are worried the killer will strike again. Tears were shed.
Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death.
And prayers were said for 16-year-old Brittany Binger Saturday night.
A part of us is gone with her.
More than 200 people, young and old, held a candlelight vigil at the Windy Hill Mobile Home Park in Grove. They raised their candles high just a few feet away from where the teen's partially nude body was discovered. Police say the victim may have been sexually assaulted. Danielle Hollingsworth was one of the last to see her alive.
It hurt so bad that I wasn't with her.
Friends and family want to keep this case fresh in everyone's mind. That's because it's been nearly a week since the teen was murdered, and the killer is still on the loose.
Watch out for the people who are next to you. Watch out for the little kids who play by themselves.
Many fear the killer could hurt someone else. Brittany Binger's boyfriend is urging anyone who knows who is responsible to call police.
I just hope to God that they come up with some kind of information that'll help the police and not nothing that'll sidetrack them or send them the wrong way.
Investigators say they have no solid leads. As they search for clues, friends are trying to remember the victim as someone with a big smile and a big heart.
You walk in a room and you see her and she captivated you.
And the community has raised nearly $2,000. Some of that money will go toward a reward for information leading to an arrest. The rest of the money will help children in the neighborhood. Reporting live, Stacey Wiggins, News Channel 3.
Right now, Portsmouth police are investigating an attempted armed robbery. Earlier tonight, police were called to the London Oaks section of Portsmouth. They found a man suffering from a stab wound. He was taken to a local hospital. Police are searching for the person responsible. And Virginia Beach police have identified the couple that was hit and killed by an SUV. 60-year-old Dawn Hale died last night at the scene. Her husband, 58-year-old James Hale, was pronounced dead at the hospital. The couple was visiting from San Antonio, Texas. Police say the red SUV truck hit the Hales as the couple tried to cross Shore Drive in front of Croker's restaurant. Police say the SUV driver did not see the couple and could not stop in time. He likely will not be charged. Earlier this week, police in Louisiana arrested several students for what they call cyberbullying. The high-tech version of playground politics includes everything from threats to insults, lies, and rumors. Your News Channel 3's Chow Win has more about cyberbullies in tonight's Education Watch.
From threats,
You can shoot my whole family.
to rumors,
They call me fat.
to lies.
They call you cuss words and bad things.
Bullying is on the loose, not on the playground, but on the internet. An instant message in chat rooms and on personal websites. Cyberbullying, as it's called, is spreading at lightning speed, and the victims are often barely teenagers.
It scared me a lot.
Nicole found herself the target of a vicious rumor. Someone used her screen name and sent sexually explicit messages to dozens of classmates at her school and other schools as well.
People would come up to me at school and say, you know, Nicole, why'd you say, you know, this and that? Why'd you call me that name? You know, why'd you make up this lie?
Nicole lost friends and found herself in counseling. So how common is cyberbullying? By some estimates, 1 in every 17 young people reported being threatened or harassed or even stalked over the internet. And experts believe this is only the beginning of a disturbing trend.
You're going to have to redraw an image of that car.
Young teens are as internet savvy as the classes they take in school. And when it comes to cyberbullying, we learn bullies are not afraid to type away because many hide their identities. School psychiatrist Scott Poland says the effects of cyberbullying may not leave physical bruises, but emotional scars, one young teens have a difficult time dealing with.
Feelings of rejection from peers, problems concentrating.
And those problems, Poland fears, could eventually lead to school violence. Poland's written books and even led the crisis team during Columbine. He points to studies that found that 2/3 of school shooters were once victims of bullying themselves. Case in point, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold.
And we're trying to do everything we can to educate our teachers and to encourage kids themselves to stop this behavior.
That was Chow Win reporting. Now, psychologists and educators warn parents to be persistent about checking in with their kids as they venture online. Coming up, dieters, you can soon have your meat and eat your potatoes too. We'll tell you about a carb-friendly potato that's coming up in your Health Watch. Plus, rising flood water causes rivers to breach their banks and turn roads into rapids. More of this amazing footage coming up.
And triple Doppler radar has dry conditions now. Will it stay dry throughout much of Sunday? I've got those answers and more coming up.
Live at 11, home of Triple Doppler radar. This is your News Channel 3.
Hampton Roads, we want to hear about the good news happening around you.
Log on to WTKR.com and nominate your community star. A teacher, a doctor, a fireman, maybe even you.
Someone being a good Samaritan, someone doing a random act of kindness, someone who's saving lives. Whatever the act, we want to know.
Log on to WTKR.com and nominate your community star. It's good news about great people. Your community star on WTKR.com.
Not too trendy.
Reliable, strong.
Pretty, attractive.
I want
to know that it's going to last.
Values. It's about values, too.
It took me a while.
And then we found it at Haverty's. The perfect match.
At Haverty's, you won't pay more for your perfect match. We offer the best home furnishing values possible. Our low price guarantee puts it in writing. Haverty's makes it home for less.
You are looking at one serious Star Wars fan. This guy says he's such a fan of the George Lucas movies, he's going to camp out for almost 5 months to ensure he's at the front of the line to see the next installment. He started holding his place New Year's Day. Now, keep in mind, the 3rd episode, called Revenge of the Sith, is due in theaters May 19th. There's more to come on your News Channel 3. Stay with us.
Your News Channel 3 is looking for the next TV superstar. Send us your best audition tape and tell us why you should be the next Hampton Roads television star. Send VHS tapes only to WTKR at this address and log on to WTKR.com for more details.
Sunday at Haynes, the last chance to get the most powerful offer ever made in furniture. No money down and no interest for the next 3 years. For 6 hours Sunday, get all new furniture and mattresses on sale at up to 50% off any other store. And on this day, you need no down payment. You pay no interest for 3 years. And make sure you get everything Sunday, because your first payment won't be due until January 2006. Last chance at the best offer in our history. 6 hours Sunday at Haynes.
Some people still don't understand Priority Plus, so I'm going to try to explain it a little better. Oil changes and filters.
No charge.
Tire rotations.
Not a cent.
Belts, hoses, and so on.
Nada. Zero.
Virginia state inspections for life.
Zilch.
All factory recommended maintenance and service for 2 years or 24,000 miles.
Keep your money.
Priority Plus at Priority Toyota, Chevrolet, and Acura. We put you first.
You're watching your News Channel 3 at 11.
To Tonight, Elvis fans around the world celebrate the music legend's 70th birthday. Elvis Aaron Presley was born January 8, 1935 in Mississippi. The Presley family moved to Memphis when Elvis was a child, and by 1954, he had a recording contract with Sun Records. Elvis died at his Memphis home, Graceland, in 1977. A local radio station saluted the king today with a blood drive. 92.9 WFOG sponsors the Blue Suede Shoes blood drive for the American Red Cross. The radio station handed out free Elvis books and CDs to people who gave blood. 92.9 held blood drives at Pembroke Mall in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake Square Mall, and Coliseum Mall in Hampton. The American Red Cross says patients are in need of blood every 2 seconds, so it's well worth the small pinprick to save a life. Well, whether it is the toot of a horn, the clank of the wheels, or the thump of the rails, there's just something special about trains. Thousands of train enthusiasts are in Virginia Beach this weekend for the country's largest traveling model train show. News Channel 3's Priscilla Monty found out what's being done to make trains more appealing to the Game Boy generation.
Reese Franklin just turned 7 yesterday. His dad brought him to Greenberg's train show for his birthday adventure.
I like the sounds because it's so cool, they're the real things.
With today's kids more apt to like the sounds coming out of their TV or computer, the model train industry has had to adjust. Reese's dad, Rhett, says he sees the difference in the new generation of trains.
They have included electronics and smoke units and horns and things that my father's post-war sets would have never had. And so it keeps the excitement up.
See that little blue train? That's Thomas the Tank Engine, and many believe that little train will be the one to get this Game Boy generation into this industry. They watch the DVDs and then they come play with the train.
Thomas is going to get them. Yeah, the whole Thomas idea is getting everybody back into trains again. Right now, ring the bell.
As Reese toots the horn in the life-size Thomas engine, he doesn't realize he's the model the city of Virginia Beach and the model train industry want. The city's push for family-friendly conventions and the industry's hope to lure kids comes together for this 7-year-old's birthday adventure. Good happy birthday present.
Yes, it is. I love it.
In Virginia Beach, Priscilla Monty, News Channel 3.
And the show continues tomorrow at the Pavilion from 10 to 4. Admission is $7. Kids 11 and under, however, get in for free. Well, tonight, communities in rain-drenched Ohio brace for a major cleanup effort thanks to some serious flooding. Just take a look at the Ohio River as it overflows its banks south of Cleveland. This is the same region where a winter storm dumped 20 inches of snow just before Christmas. That left the ground saturated and unable to absorb the winter mix of rain and freezing rain that followed this week. City officials in Marietta, Ohio say streets are drowning under 2 to 4 feet of water. A hotel worker there says people are even getting around in kayaks. And rescue by boat was certainly the only way to reach the driver of this semi swept away by flood waters on Friday. Rising rivers gobbled up nearly everything in sight near Jackson County, Indiana. The National Weather Service says flood warnings will remain in effect for parts of the Midwest through next Friday. And right now, hundreds of people in California are happy to be home after spending last night stranded in their cars, buried in several feet of snow. Your News Channel 3's Greg Mills has more from Big Bear, California.
About 200 people stranded in their cars overnight on Highway 18 between Snow Valley and the Big Bear Dam.
It was a really scary experience.
I think people are just trying to keep warm because it's so cold outside. It's just freezing.
Here's what happened. Heavy snow hit the area between 8 and midnight last night. A tour bus got stuck and cars just couldn't get around it.
The cars in front of us and behind us were stuck, so we couldn't go anywhere.
More than 100 cars were stuck. One driver said snow was about 4 inches deep initially, but another 6 inches fell overnight. There were blizzard conditions with sleet, not snow.
Well, at 3 a.m., there were some people that came to clear the road, and they told us that they would get us out within the hour.
She and her group of friends were stuck in their van for another 11 hours before being rescued. Rescuing people in these conditions wasn't easy. CHP shut down Highway 18 around midnight. The initial plan was to plow the road to clear it. but the snowfall was just too heavy, so they turned to just evacuating those stranded.
Yeah, we rode the snowcat out.
Those stranded rode the snowcat to shuttle buses that carried them to evacuation centers in either the Big Bear area or Snow Valley area, but it took a long time to get them all out.
About 16 hours.
California Highway Patrol says everyone who is stranded has been accounted for. In Big Bear, California, Greg Mills for CBS News.
Well, I bet those folks out there would be green with envy over our weather, because even though we had some rain, it's still pretty nice out here.
Yeah, it is very beautiful out there. Temperatures warmed up into the 60s, but a change coming our way overnight into the 40s, and tomorrow only into the 50s, so a little cooler. Yeah. Let's show you what's happening with triple Doppler radar. Right now, I've got it on all 3 sweeps. Now, we're not showing any rain right now, but we had some earlier. Just a few slight showers in some locations. Most of them headed from the north into the south, and they're just about all out of here. We still have some out in the Atlantic, but for triple Doppler radar throughout much of the rest of the night into tomorrow morning, we should have clearing skies out there, and of course that means no showers whatsoever. Let's show you what's happening outdoors. We're going to head down to the Virginia Beach oceanfront and take a look at this. We've got the flag flying toward us. That means that we have a northeasterly wind, and that's going to help to propel some cooler conditions our way. In fact, a northerly wind throughout much of the nighttime hours, throughout much of tomorrow, northeasterly again, and that means that temperatures are going to be dropping throughout the nighttime hours and only warming into the upper 40s, maybe 50 tomorrow. So a 10-degree difference from today through tomorrow, 10 degrees cooler, so you will need that jacket definitely for tomorrow. Let's show you what we have out there, and disregard what's happening out in Suffolk. That temperature is obviously wrong at 10 degrees. Anyway, what we do have right now is the upper 40s, 46 in Norfolk, 48 Virginia Beach, Currituck, 50 Kildare Hills, 54 in Manteo. We're going to see everybody cooling off overnight into the low 40s. In fact, some locations as chilly as 40 degrees at 7 a.m. Now, we will be warming up to about 46 by noontime, topping out near 50 between 2 and 3 p.m. Then we'll start to see things chill off yet again. Not a bad day. A lot of sunshine will be around for today, for tomorrow, compared to what we had today. Of course, had all the clouds out there. You can already see the clearing that's occurring across much of central Virginia down into Southside Hampton Roads, even down into the Carolinas. But notice we still have this frontal boundary and some of those clouds still kind of lagging behind. Now, high pressure coming toward us, coming out of Canada, has some colder temperatures associated with it, and that means for tonight we will see those temperatures headed downward, and in fact tomorrow as well. Now look for a northeasterly breeze tomorrow. That northeasterly breeze will help to propel some of that colder air right down across much of our area. So here's what it looks like for tomorrow. Clearing skies throughout the remainder of the night into early tomorrow morning. We will have mostly sunny skies around late in that morning into the afternoon hours. Temperatures top out anywhere from 47 up to 50 in places like Chesapeake and west of Chesapeake. For your specific neighborhood triple Doppler forecast, notice Chuckatuck 49, Chesapeake 50, Cortland 50, as well as Surrey 49 out at the beachfront. Over on the eastern shore in the 50-degree range, Chincoteague 49 in Kiptopeke, 49 Hampton, 50 Yorktown, 49 Matthews. So everybody's going to need that sweater or light jacket tomorrow. In fact, South Mills 50, 50 in Sunbury, 49 in the Outer Banks. Now, your exclusive triple Doppler 10-day forecast shows temperatures warming back up by Monday into the mid-60s. 60 Tuesday into the 70s for Wednesday and Thursday. You can't beat this kind of weather around here in January. So enjoy the warm-up and, of course, enjoy the fact that your heating bill won't be so high as well.
All right, thanks so much, Tal. Well, 2004 was certainly the year of the low-carb craze, and if you're still counting carbohydrates, you will be happy to learn about a new kind of potato. It lets you have your meat and eat your potatoes too. In tonight's Health Watch, a low-carb spud will soon hit store shelves thanks to researchers at the University of Florida. Growers say the Sunlight potato has 30% fewer carbs and 25% fewer calories compared to a standard russet potato. The low-carb version is also high in vitamin C and potassium. Researchers have been taste testing low-carb potatoes for 5 years now. Look for them in your local grocery store during the coming weeks. What do you think, Brian? You want to try it out?
You know, I was on the Atkins diet.
Were you?
It worked.
I can never get into it.
I lost like 18 pounds.
Wow.
Good stuff.
All right.
I don't run anymore, however. All right, let's talk about some sports. We're going to talk some high school basketball. Great girls action in Virginia Beach earlier today. Callum and Wilson, 2 unbeaten teams. We will have highlights coming up.
This portion of News Channel 3 is brought to you in part by Virginia College Savings Plan.
In Hampton Roads, severe weather comes at us from all directions. That's why your News Channel 3 surrounds you with triple Doppler radar technology.
With a radar on the Outer Banks, the South Side, and a new live radar on the peninsula, your News Channel 3 protects you with 3 live radars.
Maximum protection for Hampton Roads, only from your News Channel.
I'm Tom Barton. Remember, school's in session. Kids, especially young ones, often don't think of safety, so it's up to us to be alert and careful when driving. Be aware of children, especially near schools and playgrounds, and remember to stop both ways for school buses. Go slow in school zones and pay attention to those crossing guards. Plus, as always, don't forget to buckle up and keep your vehicle in safe running and stopping condition. Let's make this a safe year for everyone, especially our children.
It's 5 for $5.95 time. 5 Arby's regular roast beef sandwiches with oven-roasted beef that's freshly sliced. 5 for just $5.95. Hurry, it won't last long.
The area's 2 best girls high school basketball teams met tonight out in Virginia Beach. Kellum played host to Wilson. Now, dating back to last year, the Lady Presidents have won 23 straight regular season games. The Lady Knights at Kellum have rattled off 19 in a row, so something had to give in this one. Check out the overflow crowd at Kellum. First quarter, Knights coming out on fire. Danielle Bell goes length of the court, gets fouled. She had 27, 13 in the first quarter. Knights hit 5 3-pointers in the opening quarter. Rachel Davey canning the triple. 49-36 Kellum at the half, but Wilson making a game of it. Freshman Sheila White led the Presidents with 21. That got the lead down to 3 points, but in the end, Kellum just too strong. Andrea Trask, money. 4th 3 of the night there. Trask had 19 points. Kellum stays unbeaten, 74-63. The Knights 11-0. The Presidents fall to 10-1. What a year it's been for the Old Dominion men's basketball team thus far. The Monarchs are 12-2 overall and 2-0 in the CAA, which puts them on the top of the league standings. Tonight they look to stay unbeaten in the conference as they went at home against in-state rival James Madison. A crowd of over 6,872 live human beings on hand tonight. Things started off with a bang for ODU. Brandon Johnson, the steal, gets it up ahead for Isaiah Hunter. Hunter at 14, Monarchs out to an early lead. Alex Loughton hotter than a tinderbox on this chilly night. The CAA preseason player of the year, averaging 10 points a game, but broke out of it in this one. Had 14 points in the first half alone, finished with 16 points, 10 rebounds, 4 steals. Sing it with me, and a partridge in a pear tree. Another big game for Arno Dahi. The sophomore getting it done from all over. The short jumper there. Then the alley-oop dunk. Dahi, believe it or not, even has some three-point range. Finished with 12. Old Dominion embarrasses JMU, 76-43. Monarchs now 13-2 and 3-0 in the CAA. Travel to Towson on Wednesday. What a rough week it's been for the William & Mary men's basketball team. This past Sunday, the Tribe lost at North Carolina 105-66. Then on Wednesday, they dropped a 12-point decision at home against Hofstra. Today, they hope to bounce back against Delaware. The college hadn't beaten the Blue Hens in 3 years, January of 2002. William & Mary going to be in the home white. Nathan Mann, Elamus Caecilius. Circus shot would go, and he's fouled. Caecilius led the Tribe with 14. How about Reed Markham? Reed Markham going to go through the lane. The nifty little bucket right there. That is good stuff from Reed Markham. William & Mary looking good in this one. How about Nathan Mann, NBA three-pointer? He got it. William & Mary, who had a 13-point lead in the second half, couldn't keep that lead. They lose 69-59. This guy wasn't really interested in the final score. He was interested in reading his motorcycle magazine. Anyway, the college has lost 3 in a row and 6 of the last 7. All right, some scores from today. Men's action. Norfolk State wins on the road. Big upset win, 55-52. Hampton gets it done over North Carolina A&T. All right, how about the ladies' score? Congrats to the Lady Spartans. They win their first game of the season, 91-67. And it was the HU Lady Pirates over A&T, 72-58. Meanwhile, Virginia also off to a bit of an impressive start to the season. Cavs are 9-2 right now, but tonight they had their work cut out for them. Had to travel to 9th-ranked Georgia Tech. Good luck for Paul Hewitt's club. Remember, they were in a national championship a year ago. All right, let's pick this thing up in the second half. Jared Jack going to hit the three-pointer. He had 22 points. That kind of night for Pete Gillen's club. Will Bynum to Anthony McHenry. McHenry says, get out my house. Georgia Tech wins 92-69, your final count. Cavs 9-3, they fall to, and 0-2 in the league. All right, Terps and the Tar Heels from the Dean Dome this afternoon. First half, Maryland up 30-29, but not for long. Rayshon Terry draining the three-pointer. That kind of day for the Terps. Not a very good effort for John Gilchrist and company. Terps lose to Carolina 109-75. Not good. The Admirals, by the way, right in the middle of one of their longest homestands of the season. Tonight, the AHL club hit the Scope Ice for their 4th of their 6-game stint here in Norfolk. They took on the Bridgeport Sound Tigers. What on earth is a sound tiger? Is it a tiger that makes sounds or a tiger that lives near a sound? I don't know, you tell me. By the way, Trent Yawney back on the Admirals bench tonight for the first time since December 11th. Recall he just finished serving a 10-game suspension for fighting. Speaking of fighting, Admirals did plenty of that with the Sound Tigers tonight. In all, 133 penalty minutes in this game. This is Mike Brown and Graham Belak going at it. Third period, Norfolk down 3-2, not for long. Matt Ellison gonna miss. Rennie Borks tying it up. Admirals get a game winner by Duncan Keith. They win 4-3. Certainly a big day in the National Football League. A couple scores for you. San Diego and New York at 17 all in the fourth, and Seattle loses to the Rams 27-20.
All right, thanks a lot, Brian. Well, we will be right back with a final check on your forecast. Stay with us.
What you want is important to us, Hampton Roads. Log on now to WTKR.com and tell your News Channel 3 what you think. Why did you watch your News Channel 3 this morning? Did you know your News Channel 3 has a program called Kidcasters to teach your kids about weather? Did you know your Skycam 3 network just expanded? Log on to WTKR.com. We're working hard to be your News Channel 3.
Do you believe a church could be exciting for every member of your family? Do you think a church could have a great vision? Do you think the message could be something that will improve your life 7 days a week? Do you think a church could do great things for people beyond its own four walls? Well, we sure do. Hi, I'm Steve Kelly. This is my wife, Sharon. Together, we pastor a church called Virginia Beach Christian Life Center.
Join us here on Channel 3 at 5:30 every Sunday morning.
Oh, why not come out and visit us? Our service times are on the screen.
All right, let's show you that Seattle-St. Louis game. What a great game this was. Tied up at 20 with 2 minutes to go. St. Louis's Mark Bolger finding Cam Cleland. What a catch right there. Rams up 27-20. Seattle had one last chance, facing a 4th down at the Rams 5. Matt Hasselbeck's pass would be dropped by Bobby Ingram. That is your ball game right there. 27-20. The Rams beat the Seahawks.
All right, Brian, and before we go, we want to get a final check on your forecast. Things cooling off a bit, Tal.
Yeah, overnight in the 40s. Tomorrow only climbing up into the upper 40s. 50 is a top end in some areas out to the south and down to the west.
All right, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow.